On a daily basis, police officers and deputies encounter people with mental illnesses or disabilities, sometimes up to 5 times a day in Palm Beach County alone.
And in all of the fatal shootings within our area involving the mentally ill or disabled, Contact 5 found one thing in common. Here's investigator Sam Smink.
As soon as we realized that Jeremy was gone and the minivan were gone, we put 2 and 2 together, and Amy called the police.
911 emergency.
I have a 17-year-old son with Down syndrome. He's got my white 98 minivan.
We just wanted him to be safe.
5 miles from home, Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies spot Jeremy Hutton, a young man with Down syndrome who had never driven before, driving 10 miles an hour with flat tires.
I'm sure they had their sirens blaring and their lights flashing. Yeah, and that's gonna probably freaked him out.
A child who is with intellectual disabilities just does not understand.
I watched the driver, he turned the wheel, and he just started coming at me.
Shots fired.
Completely drew my firearm and started firing as he reached where I was.
The traffic video shows just the opposite. Hutton driving away from the 3 deputies who stopped him.
Shots fired.
I just didn't envision in any way in my mind that there was any end to that situation that would end up with him being shot.
They didn't understand at all. I don't think they had much training in disabilities.
They didn't. A Contact 5 investigation found all 3 deputies involved had never been trained to handle people with developmental disabilities.
Stop, stay back. Stay back.
It's part of crisis intervention training.
They're dealing with assessment resolution, mental health issues, and the buzzword that's out there nowadays is de-escalation.
Get down!
Since 2002, there's been 35 officer-involved shootings with the mentally ill and disabled. 26 were deadly. In every fatal shooting, we found not one of the officers went through CIT.
The way how the training taught me is just basically to slow things down and try to get an understanding or try to engage the person into a dialogue.
West Palm Police Officer Sanjay Raja believes all officers should be trained in CIT.
You need to have this type of training on file.
He works with the police department to get all officers trained in CIT.
We have better outcomes in dealing with mentally ill or people in crisis that either armed or not armed.
Put your hands behind your back.
Florida doesn't require officers to train for mental health situations beyond the training academy.
Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's left up to each individual agency. Some area law enforcement don't do a single hour.
Every police officer should be CIT trained, and it should be repeated every few years throughout their careers.
There are more than 450 deputies at PBSO without CIT. Many of them are the ones involved in the fatal shootings.
If these officers were trained, how do you think this would turn out?
I think the outcome would have been considerably different. He certainly wouldn't have been shot.
CIT training could also help better protect officers.
Get everybody goes home safe. That's my #1 focus.
The Florida Standards and Training Commission could require all police agencies to have their officers complete CIT training. We went to Sarasota to ask them why the commission doesn't.
Because it comes down to money. There's a lot of things that are pushed down from the state, from the federal government, and a lot of it's unfunded mandates.
Jeremy survived. 7 years later, the deputies who shot Jeremy Hutton still haven't been trained.
Well, we have other disabled children as well, and the next time it could be one of them.
Advocates say CIT training also saves public money. Sheriff Prummel told us he will bring up mandatory CIT training at the next commission meeting. You could also get your local lawmaker involved. Give them a call. We did break down what agencies have or do not have this training. Check it out on our website under investigations. Back to you.